This is Rick Levin, and you are watching Whose Time?
如果你现在还不知道慕课及大型开放式网络课程，那你可能有点 out 了。在节奏越来越快的信息爆炸时代，许多人喜欢待在家中，享用全世界最优质的教育资源，慕课应运而生，并且其发展势头之猛，让一些美国教育界人士惊呼其将取代传统教育方式。时代周刊曾评论，慕课为广大的普通人打开了一扇通往常春藤高校的大门。在美国，有2位斯坦福大学教授于2011年创立的在线课程平台 Coursera 发展势头尤为迅猛。截至2014年11月 ，Coursera 已与115家大学或其他教育机构建立伙伴关系，为1000万在线学生提供860门课程。近日，前耶鲁大学校长、现任 Coursera CEO 的莱文到访财新传媒，与财新总编辑胡舒立、主编王硕一起畅聊传统教育与在线教育的碰撞。
Is that MOOC very controversial? Is that controversial?
MOOC actually is not controversial. It's an emerging new style of education.
I think it's controversial among educators.
I actually think the online product that Coursera has now actually does a better job than the live experience because for one, we shorten up the time between questions and quizzes. Students are more engaged. Instead of sitting still for an hour, they get to answer a quiz every 6 minutes or so as they go through the material. If they don't understand something, imagine if you're sitting in a lecture hall and in the first 15 minutes you're lost. Well, if that happens to you on Coursera, you can just go back and watch the video over and figure it out. Take your time to master the content. So I think for conveying content, it's a very strong technology, and faculty who've used it become adherents. They become promoters.
I'm a student, but I don't go to university. Can I finish a university comparable education totally on Coursera? And how much cost should I pay?
We're still 2.5 years old. You could potentially find a set of courses that would look like the set of courses one would take to earn a bachelor's degree. I mean, that'll be more possible in a few years when we have the curriculum more built out and more courses available. Would it be much lower cost? Yeah, for sure. At average price of $50 a course, and let's say 4 courses a semester for 8 semesters. That's not a lot of money, but I'm sort of hesitant to say that will at any time soon be thought of as a complete substitute. I think where it's much more likely to be seen as important is I've taken this set of 4 related courses, let's say, in Android programming, and that's going to help me get a job as an Android programmer. Or I've taken this coherent set of courses in data science, and that's an emerging field with, as more and more companies and organizations and government agencies are working with big data. There's generations of people out there have been trained in math and statistics, but they don't know the latest technologies for dealing with big data. And that those kinds of things, the credentials are specializations, which are groupings of courses, can offer, are much more likely to have immediate impact than the sort of simulated bachelor's degree. Yeah.
Do you see a future that a MOOC, including Coursera and others, can replace most universities?
Yeah. Why do we need university then?
Because there's a lot more to the experience than just what you learn in the classroom. And I think the experience of bringing 18 to 22-year-old students together in a context where they live together and get to understand how, the give and take of becoming adults, interacting, kind of maturation, social development, all of that's character formation, all of that's a part of the university experience for many, many students. And so I don't think that will be entirely replaced by online education. I think that some of it will be. I mean, that is to say, there are many students whose experience of university is particularly, I don't know about here in China, but in the United States, people drive in to take a class. They don't really have a residential experience or a strong engagement with their cohort. They're basically coming to school for classes and going home. In those types of universities, I think could be replaced or much diminished in by this phenomenon. But it'll take years. The internet moves fast, but universities do not. So I think the change in the higher education sector will be slow. What people talk about this being disruptive, and it has the potential to be disruptive, but I think it will take decades to really have a very strong impact on the way the university sector is organized. In the meantime, it is transformational. It is disruptive in a different way. It's reaching a much wider audience. So, people who are at post-university, in fact, the great majority of our users are globally are older than 25 years old, and they're using it to upgrade their career skills or simply to become better people, to become better citizens. Just take courses they're curious about and study subjects they're interested in. In fact, our user base splits about 50-50 between the sort of self-motivated lifelong learners and the people interested in enhancing their career. I think here in China, I think it's a tremendous opportunity for career advancement because we know that there's concern in China that university graduates have a hard time getting matched to the right kinds of jobs, that their skills don't fit what the business sector demands.
Well, probably the MOOC can get more impact over the regions where education is not that developed.
The extent to which it supplements what's done in the university age group, I think I agree with you. The developing countries where the educational systems aren't as fully developed, we probably have a greater role to play than in the U.S.
67岁的莱文出生在美国西海岸加利福尼亚州的三藩市。1968年获得斯坦福大学历史学学士学位，之后在牛津大学研究政治学和哲学，并获硕士学位。1974年获耶鲁大学经济学博士学位，后留校工作，任经济学教授。1993年在出任耶鲁大学校长之前，莱文曾任耶鲁大学经济系主任和文理研究生院院长。他是技术变革经济学方面的专家，美国艺术和科学学院院士，美国国家科学技术经济政策委员会委员。作为美国高等教育的领导人之一，他担任耶鲁大学校长长达20年时间，是美国常春藤联盟学校中任期最长的校长。2014年3月，他卸任耶鲁大学校长一职，随后被 Coursera 任命为新一任 CEO。
We were very surprised once you accepted the position as the CEO of Coursera once you left as the president of Yale. Why and how did you make that decision?
Well, I hadn't anticipated it when I left Yale. I wasn't sure what I would do, but I was on sabbatical and doing just. So
you
research.
Didn't know what you were going to do?
No, I left after 20 years, thinking 20 years was a good long tenure and it was time to leave. And but then the idea, the opportunity came up maybe 6 to 9 months after I left Yale.
Oh, really?
And it seemed like a natural, since at Yale we had also worked on developing free open content. Yale's Open Yale courses were among the best offerings that were out there in an earlier generation of online offerings that were, just camera at the back of the classroom type recordings of high quality courses. And I felt from way back, 15 years ago, that online education was going to be a great tool for the great universities of the world having a broader impact than they've ever had before. And so Coursera was the natural, first a great technology far in advance of what we had used at Yale. And it already was beginning to develop a huge, global audience.
And so far, since you switched your career, what kind of reaction you get from the universities during the cooperation negotiating with them?
Very positive. I mean, I think people were. People were like a little surprised to see that I was entering this realm, but also feeling quite comfortable that someone they knew, shared their values. I'm not here to I'm not here to destroy the university world. I spent my life building it.
Did some people say, "Oh, you got mad? Too bad for universities." No,
no, quite the opposite. I think I'm a real ally of the schools that are making use of our platform, and I think it's going to work very well.
What kind of change must happen for them to accommodate the challenge from MOOCs?
Well, I think what we're finding is just getting the universities to understand. I'm talking now about the ones that actually supply content to us, to understand that this is a huge opportunity for them to have a bigger impact on the world. To educate orders of magnitude more students. It really changes the way you think about what a university does. I mean, we'll see universities really embracing this and doing a lot of good in the world.
事实上，很多人都担心，诸如 Coursera、edX 这样的在线教育公司在未来将无法盈利，前途未卜。Coursera 目前在试验各种商业模式，其中最突出的是用中等价格便能获得课程认证证书。
So MOOC could be a for-profit business, or in the future could be some kind of social entrepreneurship.
Yeah, well, I think we're both. I mean, we're a for-profit company with a very clear dedication to a social mission. I mean, our mission is universal access to the world's best education, and we need to be sustainable. And to be sustainable, we need to generate revenue to cover our cost. We're using a very simple model, which is the educational content is free. The courses you can watch them and study them and take all the quizzes and exams for free. Yeah, there's 850 courses and a fantastic array of diverse subject matter, and it's growing rapidly. I mean, and we'll have thousands of courses within the next few years. But to monetize, what we're doing is we're saying if you want a verified certificate, if you want your identity verified as having completed the course successfully, you pay a very modest sum. I mean, between sometimes $29, sometimes $49, sometimes a little more. And you can get the verified certificate. And, only a small fraction at this point are paying for it. But we think the group that sees this as a labor market credential will start to pay in greater number as the labor market starts to recognize that this is valuable. And so it's sort of a two-sided phenomenon. We have to get employers to understand that taking a data science courses at Johns Hopkins adds real value to a prospective employee. And then when they start to endorse this, as Google recently did in a blog where they posted saying, here are a set of Coursera courses we think would be valuable in our prospective employees. If we can get employers to start to behave in that way, I think more people will pay for the credential.
Yeah, actually, I made a very simple sampling of Chinese employer here last night, and asked them whether they will value in the future of this certification from Coursera. They said they will consider it.
That's great. Yeah. Well, that's what we're hoping to accomplish in coming over here and meeting with a number of Chinese employers and multinational employers.
如今 Coursera 上也出现了越来越多来自中国高校的课程，如北京大学的生物演化、复旦大学的微影人的自我修养等。正是看中了中国市场对教育资源的巨大需求，2013年10月 ，Coursera 进入中国，逐步以网易、果壳以及一言网等进行合作，让中国用户享受到坐在家中就能在线选修欧美顶尖大学课程的体验。Coursera 在中国的野心不小。
And how many times have you been in China this year?
This is my third trip this year.
Third trip this year.
Yeah.
Can you tell me some story on your trips for the new business in China? Yeah.
Oh, we've had great reception. We've been around and met with I've been to a number of the Chinese universities. We have 5 partners in mainland China now that are starting to supply courses for our platform. We have Beida and Fudan, Shanghai Jiaotong, Nanjing, and Xi'an Jiaotong as partners, and we've a couple of other C9 universities are this close from joining. I think we'd like to have the top institutions engaged. I found there's the differences in the Chinese universities' view of this. Some Some are a little skeptical and nervous about how can we put great quality content on the platform and how will it appear in a global context, and others are embracing this with great enthusiasm. I mean, Peking University they're training 100 faculty members per year, where each of the 100 faculty make a short version of a MOOC. They make like 2 weeks worth of content. And very smart approach, because they're getting a lot of their faculty used to this, and then they're going to pick 20 out of the 100 each year and make public MOOCs out of them. So this is a great strategy, and they're putting a lot of resources into training, which I think is good. I think it's important for the Chinese universities as they advance in the world that they have an opportunity to be on a global platform like Coursera, where users around the world will get familiar with them. Interestingly, the early courses that Peking University has put on our platform in Mandarin, they were stunned to find that 40% of the followers of the students were outside China, outside mainland China. So it was a Chinese community of Chinese speakers in other countries, and something like 20% were in the United States.
Really?
It's quite remarkable.
So distance makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why didn't you get the contracts with Tsinghua?
So we'd love to work with Tsinghua, but Tsinghua signed on early with the competitor, with edX.
Oh, I see, earlier, yeah.
Yeah, and they've built their own platform, Shuitong X, which is using the edX open source software. We are not exclusive, so we'd be happy to have Tsinghua put some of its courses on our platform if they wanted to. We have about 115 university partners, and I think 14 of them are working with both platforms, with both edX and Coursera.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you want to do your Chinese business independently or continue to provide contents through a local partner like Guoke?
Well, we are accessible independently for a Chinese internet user, but you can also get access to us through NetEase and through Guoke. I think in the Chinese internet world, it helps to have some of these distribution partners as well as direct access, but so we may even cultivate more of them, actually, in the future.
Today, how many Chinese users are using your service?
So we've had cumulatively about 750,000 Chinese users. In any given month, in the recent months, it's been around 70, 80,000 active users on the site. That makes us the biggest of the international providers by some distance. But I think the potential is much, much higher. I mean, I think that I would like to see us add a zero to those numbers.
耶鲁、哈佛、牛津等欧美顶尖高校不仅办学出色，其基金会的运作也自成体系，成为了推动大学发展的发动机。尤其是耶鲁大学基金会，它管理着包括捐款在内的耶鲁大学的各项资产，运作效率出色。20多年来，创造了平均17%的年化回报率。
Your foundation is very famous, very successful. Can you share some experience with us?
Well, we're Yale was very fortunate that we hired as a very young man, my good friend David Swenson, to lead our endowment. He adopted some of the portfolio management ideas of his teacher and my teacher, James Tobin, the Nobel laureate, and put them into practice at Yale, and it's become the standard model for managing university endowments, but basically to have a widely diversified portfolio of assets and focus, not on speculation, but on basically keeping your portfolio diversified, rebalancing the asset categories when prices go up and down, and focusing on selecting really excellent managers to produce excess returns. He's just done a great job, and it's made it. For 20 years, it made my job so much easier because the resources were abundant.
Back here, things are different. Chinese universities, most of them are financed by public money, but sometimes the money is not enough, so they run business directly into many different industries.
I know.
With or without competitive advantage. And the model is so different from your model.
And this is a topic in our university leadership seminars we discussed a lot. And because, well, some of the schools have actually scaled it back a lot in the last decade. I mean, they were operating, Beida was operating like 300 different businesses, some of which were related to their core mission and some of which had no connection at all. And I think the Chinese universities are starting to get more sophisticated about staying out of things where they don't have some comparative advantage. I like our approach better. We just invest in these companies and don't actually own and operate them. Yeah.
And for you, when you were the president of Yale, a large part of your time is devoted to raise money, right? And today, as CEO of Coursera, what is the most important mission for you?
At Coursera, of course, we need to raise. We have raised some money. We'll probably need to raise some more, but that's not that's not a primary focus. Primary focus is delivering on the mission. Is building the absolute best technology we can that enables that mission. I mean, all technology companies have to really focus on making sure the product really works. And then, the second big focus is making sure we have very strong relationships with our partner universities, and that we understand and they understand that we have a common interest in providing great education to millions of people.
In your opinion, what would trigger the next explosion of user growth for Coursera and other MOOCs? I think the potential of untapped internet users here in this country, in India, and even in the United States is still huge, and that there will be, the potential for a tenfold increase in our user base is right in front of us. So, we don't generate the kind of viral contagion that some internet apps do, because that are social network type apps. But I think as we get more traction, and particularly as we put more courses available on demand, so that when you go to the site, you can start right away. You don't have to wait, which you do right now. Then we'll start to see rapid growth.
My last question: what's you feel the most proud? What kind of thing you feel proud of mostly in your whole professional? Yeah.
Well, at this point, I'd have to say the 20 years of service at Yale and seeing the university both have an enormous local impact in basically rebuilding ourselves and the city around us, and then really setting a model for global engagement that is now being imitated by lots of other U.S. universities. Those would be my, personally think of the most important accomplishments to date. But I think, if you ask me that question in, 5 to 10 more years, maybe I'll tell you that it was the huge global impact that Coursera has had that dwarfs anything I could accomplish at Yale. I mean, that might happen.
It's a totally different scale.
Yeah.